Today I'm going to talk about the gut-brain axis. This is a huge topic with quite a lot to say, but I'm just going to start with the basics. To give you a little bit of background, before I started studying nutrition, I was actually studying the brain. I studied biopsychology, cognition, and neuroscience at the University of Michigan, and this was with the intention to understand the brain, understand why things went wrong, and if there was a way to correct things when they went wrong. Ultimately, this intention led me to the gut, and today I'm going to tell you why. Most of us learned in biology class at one point that we have a central nervous system, and this is made up of your brain and spinal cord. You probably also learned that you have a peripheral nervous system, which is made up of all of the nerves, like the ones that reach your fingers and toes. And these two systems communicate to and from each other, telling each other what's going on and what to do. What most of us never really learn about is the enteric nervous system. And this is a collection of over 500 million neurons that cover your entire digestive tract. In today's culture, some people call this the second brain, but I would really argue that this is our first brain because this is where a lot of the behind the scenes action is happening. The enteric nervous system is really fascinating because it communicates and interacts intimately with your microbiome. That is the over 100 trillion bacteria and fungi living inside your gastrointestinal tract, some of which are beneficial, some of which are harmful, but all of which weigh more than your brain. And they interact directly with your brain through the enteric nervous system, which is what we're referring to today as the gut-brain axis. The main source of connection between the gut and the brain is the vagus nerve. This is a cranial nerve, meaning it begins in your brain, but among other places, it has endpoints at your gastrointestinal tract. This is why most of us have what we call a gut feeling. Whatever you want to call it, most of us have a really big sense of our well-being centered around our gastrointestinal tract, right in your belly. And this is usually most obvious to us whenever you have some kind of gastrointestinal issue and you'll feel a big, sharp sense of anxiety. For people with mood disorders like depression, it's even more pronounced because depression and constipation tend to overlap a great deal. And anyone who's ever had to take medication for mood disorders also may notice that they have a pronounced effect on their gastrointestinal function. The microbes in your gut have a lot to do with this. Both the good and the bad bacteria have been studied for their ability to directly interact with the nervous system, the endocrine system, and your immune system. For example, the good bacteria have been studied for their ability to stimulate the production of GABA, which is a neurotransmitter among many things known for its relaxing effect. An even more staggering example is your gut's association with serotonin, which is another neurotransmitter known most generally for its feel-good effect. So your gut is actually the site of storage and production for approximately 90% of your body's serotonin, and a lot of this is stimulated by your gut microbiome. Another incredible association is what we call the GALT, which stands for the gut-associated lymphoid tissue. So this is basically the lymph around your gut, and this is the site of approximately 70 to 80% of your body's immune system. And because we know nothing is singular and everything interacts in the body, the gut-brain axis is also directly communicating with this lymph tissue. So what this means is your gut microbiome is not only interacting with your immune system and your nervous system, but they are communicating together. This can initiate inflammation and other cascades of immune responses that are known to impact a wide range of health issues. This all connects back to nutrition because everything that you eat affects your microbiome. Basically, none of the fiber that you eat is digested by your body itself. It's only digested by the bacteria in your intestines. Friendly bacteria will take the fiber and turn it into a beneficial effect in your body, whereas harmful bacteria essentially take the fiber and cause a cascade of negative health effects. Thanks to the gut-brain axis, we know that what is going on in your microbiome is not only impacting your digestion, but it is affecting far-reaching areas of your body, including your brain and your immune system. So when it comes to keeping your microbiome healthy, there's a few things to keep in mind. The first is to inoculate your microbiome. This means to simply make sure you're including probiotics and fermented foods in your diet. So you can either get probiotics that are in a supplement form or make sure you're eating things like sauerkraut, miso, kimchi, anything fermented. The next thing to keep in mind is to feed your microbiome. So once you have those beneficial bacteria in there from the probiotics, you have to give them the fiber that they are fueled off of. So this just means make sure you're eating those fruits and vegetables. Focus on a whole food, plant-based diet, and your gut microbiome will be happy. The last thing to keep in mind is to protect your microbiome. So this means avoiding things from stress to antibiotics, anything that can wipe out those healthy bacteria in your gut. As you can tell, this topic has a lot to it. So if you'd like to hear more about it, or if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for listening.